Hey, what's up everybody? Thank you for watching. If you're interested in what I do, my name is James Ray. You can just check out the links that I post in the description of the video. So what we're talking about right now is the new moon in Pisces. And let me tell you, this is a great opportunity. We've been in a cycle for about 14 months of planets, the outer planets, Uranus, Pluto, Saturn, even Jupiter, Neptune, have been interacting with each other in ways that are challenging us. Now, when the outer planets interact with one another in such a way, we have like sweeping social changes of some sort. Could be positive, could be negative. It's all about your perspective. So for the first time in 14 months, March is the month where there are no direct aspects. So what this does is it allows us to sink into our more personal lives, the personal planets, Mars, Venus, the Sun, the Moon. So it allows us to sink into that. And then we find ourselves a little bit more peace and maybe a little bit of hope. But specifically, it's about the ability to actually integrate what the outer world has been going through, which we're part of that as well. So keep that in mind. This is a time where you should be kind of drawing back inward. If you're going with the flow, that's likely what's happening. I don't mean to say should. But as we slide back into ourselves, we start to feel different things going on and notice the profound impact that the last few months or last few years have really had on us. And that to me is golden, because until we integrate our individuality, we're stepping into the age of Aquarius. Until we integrate that personal sense of what's going on and express it confidently, or at least independently, then we can't really have a functional new society or new earth, however you want to put it. So keep that in mind. But this moon specifically lies at what's called the midpoint, or the part that's in between Saturn and Uranus. And currently, this is a theme of our year, is Saturn squaring Uranus. This is a challenge of the old to the new, or the new to the old. The two work in concert with one another quite well. The co-rulers of Aquarius, the traditional ruler and the modern ruler, traditional being Saturn, modern being Uranus. So these two know about improving things. They know about changing the structure. But it's essential that during this time, we find a way to not throw the baby out with the bathwater, if you will. The old ways of doing things, however that looks, the conservative viewpoint that's represented by Saturn, matched with the more like forward-thinking viewpoint of Uranus. And keep this in mind as well, Saturn is in Aquarius, the sign of the futuristic thinking. And Uranus is in the sign of Taurus, where things don't change very easily. So what we have, in my personal opinion, is the evolution of mankind and the evolution of society taking place right in front of us. Because without these stepwise nature of Uranus in Taurus, and without the forward-thinking energy that Saturn is currently sitting in Aquarius, we would lack the ability to ground all of this. So we're going to ground this in. And these are all themes for the moon. So as we start, the full moon, again, 23 degrees Pisces. There are going to be a few planets involved. Neptune and Venus are just behind at 19 and 20 degrees. And Chiron and Ceres, we'll talk a little bit about that, both of those asteroids, are ahead in Aries, and it's kind of like a prequel, a predecessor to the full moon that's coming up on the 28th of March. So this is really a month where things are sandwiched in. It's all part of the same meal, basically. Every dish goes together. So what is the dish, James? What is the dish? Well, I'll tell you. So a new moon doesn't always occur with other planets involved. Having Venus and Neptune is a very strong pull in a certain direction. So with Venus involved, we have big feelings. Venus in the sign of Pisces, coming up on Neptune. These two are the dreamers of the zodiac, really. Neptune being more like woo dreamy, and Venus being more like, oh, that was dreamy, like the taste of like chocolate, the way it makes you feel when you eat it. And Neptune would be like that transcendental feeling you get from being out in nature, feeling the sun on your skin after a long, cold winter. And hopefully that's happening in your area. I hope you're having nice weather. But with big feelings and big dreams comes a sense, an intuitive sense of what is available, an intuitive sense of what's possible. So our intuition is huge right now. And the reason is that in the dark of the new moon, the kind of silent emotional space, as opposed to the full moon where it's kind of raging, you want to party, the new moon is like a palette that is clear for creativity. So while the full moon might have you painting at will, the new moon gives you the simple, basic platform palette or canvas for you to work on. So these other players, Venus and Neptune, are saying, paint your dreams, paint your possibilities, envision, notice what's possible, what's big, what's potential, what is here for us. And with these two planets coming up on the sun and the moon, there is a helper aspect to all of this. Because that square I'm talking about with Saturn and Uranus, we now have Pisces, new moon, Venus and Neptune right at that midpoint. So we have the ability to see how to move forward. We also have the ability to feel how to move forward. We have the ability to envision it. Neptune very connected to the third eye activity. But then finally, when you tie that all together, because that's what astrology is, it's alchemy, it's blending, it's, cosmic chemistry. When you put all of that together and you put it right in the middle of a frustrating aspect of Saturn and Uranus, old versus new, past versus future, we have this ability to envision, to feel, and to notice what is possible and how to move forward. I cannot tell you what that looks like for you. I cannot say what that looks like for society. I can express my own opinion about that. And the key, and I will do that right now, the key is to understand inclusivity. Okay? Anything that's exclusive, it doesn't work during this time. And it actually is an interference to the ability for us to all move forward. Things that are hard and steadfast rules are exclusive. Unless you have a rule about inclusivity. No. But as we have these rules, whether it's you have to do this or else, or if you're not part of this group, I don't like you, or you're on the other side, anything that's divisive, anything that's exclusive is interfering with our ability to move forward. Because these times aren't easy. Okay? Nobody wants to change something that benefits them. And most people don't want to do things that they don't know about. It's scary. It's terrifying. Where do I go? Where am I going? What is this? But right now, what we really have to show faith in is this open, intuitive, dreamy, feely, new possibility. And trust me, your ego probably isn't going to like this. Okay? It's just how it goes. The ego lives and it dies, it breathes, and then it goes away. It always builds itself back. Don't worry about it. But as we sit on the precipice of this new moon and we move through the new moon, what we'll find is that any place where we have pushed something away that is about judgment, it might be a problem. Because you don't know everything. And what you do know is based on a limited set of circumstances that humanity probably created. Whether it's science, or it's the way that you eat and your diet, or it's the way that you think, things happened when you were a kid. You don't really know. You have one perspective. You're part of this big conglomerate of activity that is the morphogenetic field we all share with the people we're around and all the people on the earth. And we just don't know what's at the root of it. So go on your spiritual quest. Go on your vision journey and your vision quest. Because what you don't know is so much bigger than what you do know. And as long as you're not identifying your value or your sense of self through knowing and being right, you'd be just fine. But trust me, there's a part of you that thinks that being right is golden. I was taught it too. We always want to be right. I'm sure somewhere evolutionarily it was like, I want to be right about which canyon I take, because one of them is going to lead to me finding water and the other one's going to lead to my death. So don't fight it. Just turn the other way. I don't need to be right. I do my research, I pay attention, I'm open to being wrong, I am also open to learning. Because if you're truly open to learning, you're open to being wrong. Because every new thing that you learn goes against what you thought you knew. So, new moon, it's exciting times, right? So socially, look for these opportunities. Just pay attention, try to envision what's best. And on a personal level, it's time to transcend these really stubborn and way too critical judgments that we have of ourselves and of each other. Because that's just blocking us. That's just keeping us from moving forward in our relationships, in our jobs, in our career, and whatever we want to do. So this is a great opportunity to do that. You're being supported by the beneficial aspects that are occurring. The larger picture is coming together for the entire year right now. This is a nexus, a turning point, and it should feel lighter. And if it doesn't, I mean, I get it. And maybe your personal chart shows another transit going on that's expressing something frustrating and hard to integrate. And in that case, if you feel inclined, please do reach out to me, astrologywithjames.com, and there'll be a link in the description of the video. So, one more thing. Let's talk about this. Chiron and Ceres coming together in Aries. So, like I said, this is a build-up to the full moon that's going to be on the 28th. Now, this full moon will occur at 8 degrees Libra, so it will be opposing, the full moon always opposes the sun, opposing the sun conjunct Venus and Chiron in Aries at about 8.5 degrees. So, what are we opening the door to right now as we speak? Well, we're learning how to take care of ourselves. Like, duh. But it's the way that was troubling before to take care of ourselves. Like maybe it's about money, maybe it's about food. And we're learning that the way to get through this is by being more nurturing, is by being more maternal. Okay? Kind of like getting in touch with the empowered feminine side of ourselves. So we must develop patience with ourselves during this time, because any sort of pressure that you put on yourself to heal or to recover or to be successful or to win is actually interfering with the healing and the integration process. Because there is no timeline for healing. You can't say, okay, by Thursday I'm going to feel better. I mean, you can, but good luck. It doesn't really work that way. So by letting go of this pressure, by being more patient, you're saying to the universe, this is all right. This is all right. We'll get through this. We shall survive and persevere, and this will be a good thing. This will be something that we all enjoy. So as we relieve the pressure to the healing process begins to take on a life of its own, and it can do its own thing. So we have Chiron and Ceres coming together. That'll be the theme of the next 2 weeks, is being patient with the healing process. Maybe you think you've overcome something and you still got some more to go. Or maybe you think you're still stuck in something, but when you open up with faith in the universe and God and spirit, whatever it is you believe in, you'll realize that you've actually moved on and you don't need these safety mechanisms from your childhood any longer. It's just so much healing here, and I just love it. So, final notes, okay? I probably say that at least twice in my videos. Solutions come intuitively, but you still have to do your research. You might experience the death of some idea in which you were heavily invested. This is to open you up to the limitless possibilities and assist in ushering in new solutions to old issues. There is a slight danger with this moon to believe that you know everything. They say to sit beside God. Like, I have ascended, or I get it. And the danger in that is that you never really know everything. This is an impossibility. This is an impossibility. You cannot know everything. You would not be here in that case. So, as long as you're open to learning, to being humble, and to being wrong, this won't happen. So, I hope you have a wonderful full moon. And whenever you watch this, wherever you are, this is an encapsulated cosmic energy portal. So, try to gain something from it. If you like the video, then like it. If you want to share it on your social media, please do. If you want to comment, I'm happy to answer some questions when I get to them. And you are very loved. Thank you for being here, and have a wonderful day. Peace.